Alright, everybody. Greetings. I wanted to come on here and talk about the last few days regarding the music releases that have been consistently failing on Apple Music. And I found the error, and the error was in the production credits. For some reason, the artist profile doesn't link. I don't know why it does not link. So, therefore, in the future, when I distribute music, I won't include the producer profile because it's just not linking correctly. I know I've tried it on the website. If I distribute through the website, the Muse website, it does link correctly on the website. But on the application, when I distribute through the application, it does not link. So therefore, if I distribute through the application, it does not use production or my producer alias.
Zero watching now. Zero top. Choose sticker. Create a short. Selected. Turn on. Turn off. Finish. Zero top. Microphone. Choose sticker. Enable reach. Create a short. Choose microphone unmuted. Button. Top microphone unmuted.
In any event, what's going to happen in the future, as I mentioned, the credits will be slightly different on some releases, but the drum set performance release is back up on streaming platforms. It actually went live very quickly on Apple Music, probably within 20-ish minutes after it was approved, which is nice. So that's back up and running. And then on March 27th, it's the 22nd right now. So March 27th, 2026, that'd be in 5 days at around midnight. So the standard time for streaming services. The Sensations album will be released. That will have 8 songs in total. And then 2 more EPs are scheduled, and I'm not going to give those away. I don't want to ruin that for everybody, but the album will be releasing in 5 days. So, Friday. I think that's a good release date for it. So we'll just have to see how this puppy rolls here. I'm hoping that this album gains a lot of traction and views. And also, too, I hope the songs resonate. And I actually do want to go over the Sensations album quite a bit here in the next seconds here. So the Sensations album, essentially, how I produce music, let me just give it overall, before I explain the album, because I want this to make sense. When I produce music, I first actually start out with a concept or an idea, and I actually turn that concept into an album. And those actual huge albums are stored on my Google Drive. I have 11 of them produced, and they're fully 34, sometimes 50 songs in each album. And I take some of those songs or whatever, and I choose what to do. So for distribution purposes, I'm not distributing 45, 50 songs in one album. That's just not going to happen. It's way too big for an album release. An album usually has around 7 to 8 songs. An EP usually has around 4 to 5. and then singles have 1 to 3, in other words, or 1 to 2. So it also depends on the runtime. Like, for example, Sensations, I think it's over 1 hour in runtime. So even though there's only 8 songs in that album, it's a very long runtime for that. In the Sensations album, the album explores fear and tension. It explores the depths of emotion and how emotions have an impact on our day-to-day life. For example, one of the songs, one of them is called Here We Go, and it's about 1 minute, and that's the intro to the album. And it's in 3/4 time. It's a metal tune, and that song is to symbolize chaos and the presence of emotion. Just another example, Build Up is a song based on tension, so it's an ambient track. It features dark synthesizers and electronic bass, and it will build up as the track progresses. It's about around 2-3-ish minutes, a little over 3 minutes. There's a preview of that in the Shorts tab, so if you want to hear that, there's a preview of that. And then Sensations, that one is about 5 minutes long. It explores anxiety to a very high degree. The specific song explores how anxiety can wrap around you, and it can be tightening. So that one's a pretty good tune. Crash is another one. Crash is a very slow metal tune. I think it's around like 50 beats a minute. It's a very slow tune. And that symbolizes an adrenaline crash, or after a buildup of tension and then the release of it, so a crash. So that's just a few of them, and then some songs too in the album I did some re-releasing. One of them is called Mirror. That symbolizes reflections, and that song was released January or February, or I think it was December. So it took that release down. Since I was trying to restructure the whole entire catalog. The whole catalog needed a restructure because for the last 2 months I've just been doing test releases, and I mean, Immortal was a really good one. Immortal, I think, I believe was one of the best releases at the time. And I will re-release it eventually. However, I actually released the wrong version. So the version that you guys heard was the Redux version instead of the regular version. So I'll have to show the regular version and then maybe in the future re-release the Redux version. Or I might just release the regular version and just assign the old data to that. So we'll have to see how that plays off here.
Microphone unmuted.
So in other news, before I end the stream here, so just in some other news, I will be producing more music. I'm already working on another concept, and usually I get done with concepts within 2 to 3 months, usually, or 1 to 2, which is very fast because there's so many songs in one concept. So it just depends on the complexity of the concept that I'm working on. And trust me, there are releases that are spaced out. I have releases that are scheduled, so I'm not just going to leave huge gaps. We have the album coming up, and then there are 2 more EPs that are scheduled after that. So there's a lot of wiggle room for maybe a few more releases in between those gaps, which are singles. And a few more, and plus, it'll give me a big buffer so I can keep producing music, so I don't have to worry about constantly re-releasing music. I released that drum set performance. I just didn't want to have an empty artist profile because that would have been annoying. And I'll probably release more drum set performances in the future, like as commercial releases. to all the streaming platforms so that people can listen to them. In any event, that is it for this stream. I'll probably go live later today, but I just wanted to get that message out about the album. Thank you for listening and have a nice day. Goodbye.